Hi, I'm Kelly Vaughn, and welcome to Inside Indy. And a lot of women out there, like myself, we live alone. Just put it out there, we live alone. And here to talk about living alone is Arlene Shuster. She's an author of the book Living Alone: Joy for Women Who Are Single Again. And we welcome Arlene to Inside Indy. Hello.
Hello, and thank you for inviting me. I'm honored.
And you're in a great state. Are you in California? Is that where we're reaching out to you?
We're in Escondido, 30 miles north of San Diego.
All right.
Within an hour of the beach, within an hour of the snow, and within an hour of the desert.
Oh, perfect. Well, tell us about your book, Living Alone: Joy for Women Who Are Single Again. And what prompted you to write a book like this?
I was alone for 20 years, and I know what it's like to be alone. And this is not my first book. This is my 9th book.
Wow.
And it just seemed appropriate. And I can give a lot of experience. I have a lot of experience with it. So, and more of my friends are learning to live alone again. See, face it, worldwide, women outlive their husbands 5 to 15 years. So the book is really not just for women who are now living singly. It's for women who will sometime in their lives be single again. It's also for women who are living lonely. There are women who are in unhappy marriages, and more there are women whose husbands are in facilities or failing in some way, and they've become caregivers. They are very much married, very much loyal, but they are lonely. And it's also a book for husbands because, well, for instance, I had one man come up to me at a signing and said, I read your book, and I took my wife to the car dealership, and I sat in the background and let her buy our car. I realized that I could prepare her for living alone again, singly, by causing some of the anxiety and panic to dissipate, because I can help her become more independent. So it's a book for everyone, actually, but it certainly is focused on 44 ways for a woman who is living alone again to live with joy. It's about the bottom line.
Mm-hmm. So we don't want to give the entire book away for sure, but could you give us some tips on how to live with joy, especially again when we are oftentimes lonely, depressed, feeling left out, as you mentioned, anxiety?
Right. And I think you want to mention COVID-19 as well.
Oh man, is that a good one? Yes,
Terrible.
Definitely.
Yeah. But I won't give the book away, but I think I can help those of your watchers right now. The difference between being a Christian and not being a Christian during this COVID-19 time is that most of us, meaning the people in our country, the people in the world, do not have a saving faith. All these years, women as well as men have felt that they are in control of their lives. And so this is really one time when COVID-19 strikes out randomly at anyone, anytime, and picks and chooses people in different families, and sometimes not in any family, But the idea is that no one knows where it's going to strike next. And if you don't have a saving faith, you feel that you are very much alone, and for the first time, perhaps out of control, out of your control. Christians know that we have hope. We have eternal life. So this is when you can really relax and find joy in each day, because God ultimately is in control of the world. He's not going to let this pass unnoticed. There are already many things that have come out of the COVID-19 pandemic that have been good for us personally. We're connecting with families better. We're slowing down. Many women don't want to go back to work. They like being home with their families, like working from home. Of course, it's less expensive. But there are things nationally and internationally that have come to bear that have been a great blessing. So my advice is what God tells us in the Bible. He wants us to have an abundant, joyful life, and it's there for us. And there is joy in every day. And we do have hope where the non-believer has no hope beyond themselves.
Good point. I was looking at your book, and one of the chapters is entitled Broken Heart Syndrome. Tell us about that. What is broken heart syndrome?
Well, it really has got a Japanese name because the tsunami that hit Japan several years ago and washed 250,000 people out to sea. And the families that were left not knowing what happened to their loved ones or how it happened, started appearing at doctors' offices and hospitals with horrible heartaches. And they soon discovered that they were resembling heart attacks. In some cases, they were heart attacks. But in other cases, they found that over time, the heart muscle then returned to its normal size. And it's become so popular now among scientists and doctors in knowing that this syndrome really existed. And off our own eastern coast, when we had some of the hurricanes and Sandy Hook and different events that traumatized people, it started appearing there as well. So it does have its own Medicare number now, or its own designation. Is called broken heart syndrome. And one of the main times that it does appear is in sudden death and divorce of a spouse. And that person can certainly experience broken heart syndrome. So if one of my readers experiences this sort of heart symptoms, it could be a heart attack, but it could also be broken heart syndrome. And you must get to the doctor and get it diagnosed correctly. And as we know, even with heart attacks for women, the symptoms are far different than men, and it could be very unusual. So don't delay.
Wow, I had not heard of that before. That was really, really interesting. Another topic that your book addresses is sex and singleness. Let's talk about that. Could we touch on that a bit? Because obviously a big part of being single and being lonely is being celibate, being without that physical contact. And what do you say about that in your book?
Well, I'm not going to give it all away, but I will. I did lay it on the line because it is the most difficult subject in the book to handle from a Christian point of view. But Christians understand that we have needs and we have desires. And physical touch and physical intimacy is a need. It's just how we're made up. But we also have desires. Sometimes we think our desires are needs. So I'm going to leave it at that. I think it's well developed in the chapter. And I'm proud of that chapter because you really hear what God has to say. And really, He knows our hearts, and He knows what we need, and He knows what we desire.
Wow. Okay. That was a good tease, no pun intended, for your book. I've got a copy and I want to go get another one after that one. I love that, how you put that. And you're right. It is a big one when it comes to those who are by themselves. Now, where can we get your book?
Well, currently it's on Amazon. And I'm hopeful that some of your local bookstores will carry it. It's only been out less than a month. And so it's out here a lot, and already getting a lot of positive feedback. But we'll just see what your local, but certainly you can get it 2 or 3 days from Amazon.
Okay.
And
Now,
incidentally, this is not a tease. This is the truth. You
mhm.
read the first 6 chapters for free on Amazon. They have a place where you go, peek inside the book. And because it's on Kindle as well, you can peek inside. And I'm not sure I like this, but you can read the first 6 chapters for free and then decide if you want to hear the rest of them. There are 42 chapters. And they're only 3 pages long. You can present a problem and present a solution.
Okay. Now, the holiday season is fast approaching,
Yes.
and I know quite a few single friends. But when is it an acceptable gift item? Is this okay to give as a gift?
It's a wonderful gift item because if you're, it's a happy book. Joy for women who are single again. If you have a single friend, how can that person be offended? The person would think you're giving a joy is a Christmas word as well. So it's a wonderful gift item. And I must admit that I've had friends who passed away. And recently, just since the book's been out, I had one friend whose husband passed away. I knew her well, so I gave it to her instead of flowers at the funeral. She read it within the first week and said that she had shared it with friends already, and could she get more copies for them? So she thought it was the best gift at a funeral or a celebration of life that you could have.
Wow.
Strange, but I think it's helpful.
Right. No, that's a great idea on so many levels, whether it's the holidays or someone, as you mentioned, with someone's been impacted by COVID
Or just,
19.
or just to say, I care.
Right.
It
Right.
doesn't have to be a gift for an occasion. To say, I'm thinking of you.
Mm, right. Well, we appreciate you coming on and talking about, again, the book is Living Alone, Joy for Women Who Are Single Again. And the author is Arlene Shuster, who's been joining us here on Inside Indy. We appreciate you for writing this because it is much needed and appreciated, by the way, because I know it applies to my own life. So I've got my copy. Folks, get yours. Again, you can go on Amazon and order it there for yourself, for your friends, for anybody you know who is single, and bring a little joy to their lives. Arlene, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Kelly. It's a pleasure to meet you and to be on your program.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
And we're back here on Inside Indy, and we're talking to someone from the United Negro College Fund, and his name is Brian Kelly. He is the Area Development Director for UNCF. Welcome to Inside Indy, Brian.
Thank you, Kelly, for having me.
Man, you guys have been busy, though you have been impacted by COVID-19. So update us on what's going on with UNCF locally here in Central Indiana.
Yeah, it's been quite a past 7 months. Those who know UNCF know that we typically do special events to raise money for our students. In this time of the pandemic, we've had to pivot away from doing in-person events and going virtual, which has been both a challenge and reward at the same time. We had an event in Fort Wayne. We had a Fort Wayne Mayor's Breakfast virtually, and then here as of September 19th, we did a virtual walk. That was a national effort across the country for UNCF to raise money for our students.
Okay. Now the virtual walk, it's ongoing, isn't it? There's a part of that's gone beyond the actual day of the event.
Yes. So we have extended the donation window open until October 31st for those who want to continue helping support our UNCF cause here for Indiana. We have currently raised $73,000 with a goal of 75. So we're looking for any additional donations that can help us reach or exceed that goal.
Okay. Now I can't imagine there being someone out there who does not know what the United Negro College Fund is, but tell people more about your mission and where those dollars that are being donated are going.
Absolutely. So UNCF supports 37 private historically Black colleges and universities. That's our first primary mission, is helping make sure those institutions are solid and secure in their finances so that they can deliver the education that our students need. Secondly, we support scholarships for students of color from across the country. Indiana, we have roughly about 100 students that are on scholarship every year, and those are renewable scholarships. So long as the student's in college and in good standing, they can reapply to receive those scholarships. And the third piece that we focus on is advocacy. How do we ensure that the K through 16 education space is delivering the quality education that our students deserve so that they can enter the workforce and be successful for generations to come.
Okay, great. So now you typically do a big gala, don't you, around December of this year? I know you did one last year. So I take it that's not going to happen this year. Or what's the plan in lieu of the big gala?
Yes. So imagine trying to bring together 1,000 people during this pandemic into a ballroom. It's just not going to happen. So we are pivoting away from the gala that you mentioned and doing more of a telethon. So those who are familiar with UNCF will remember the Lou Rawls telethons that we used to have back in the day, and then the Evening of Stars telethon. We're going to go back to that. And so we are in the final planning stages. The end of this month, we'll have a release on what that looks like so that we can share with our supporters, our donors, and the community to know how they can get involved. But yeah, we realize that we can't have it in person, so we will go to have a party. We're looking at having it at the Madam C.J. Walker Theater, so people can come make donations on site if they want to come out and support us, or they can make donations online. We'll have a silent auction. We'll have entertainment. It will be a flashback to the days of old, but moving ourselves forward with a virtual spin on it.
Now let's talk about the telethon. So how long will it be? How is it a 4-hour broadcast?
We will be looking at a 2-hour broadcast. Part of that will be, again, the entertainment. The other part of that will be, our sponsors, our donors, talking about how we are doing as an organization, bringing students and sharing their stories and successes. Really just trying to celebrate and highlight everything that UNCF is doing, especially in this time of the pandemic.
Okay, and what's the approximate date on it? What's the goal for that?
So we are looking at the first part of February. We're going to lock down dates. We've got some conversations to have this week. Then we'll be able to release that information. So you're getting some breaking news here, Kelly, which I told you I would help you get. But we are really excited about what this presents for Indiana, UNCF as a whole.
Okay, so how can someone who's watching, who says, I like what this guy is saying, I certainly want to help young people achieve. What would you say to them? How can they give? How can they
So there's a
participate?
couple,
Support?
yeah, there's a couple of ways to give and support. We'll start with volunteering. We are always looking for volunteers. You can volunteer to be a part of our event teams. And with this pivoting, we're looking at, how can people help us, get the word out, promote it and marketing, help deliver and design what this virtual experience will look like. We have volunteer opportunities at a leadership level. We have leadership councils across the state of Indiana. These are folks that help advise us strategically on how can we, increase and gain more support for our campaign. Secondly, we're also looking for donations. Donations can come from a corporate foundation, churches, individuals. And so if there's ways that you're looking at how to support a worthy cause focused on education of students who are deserving, but maybe a little less fortunate right now, we are that place to stop. uncf.org /Indianapolis is our website. From there, you can find out more about what we're doing here in Indianapolis and across the state of Indiana. Find out how to get involved, support in many different ways.
Okay. Okay. So tell me something about the students who benefit from the fundraising that goes on for UNCF. Who are they, and what might some of their needs be?
Sure, that's a great question. So the majority of our students are low income, first generation students of color. We are here to help ensure that they have the financial resources that would otherwise be a barrier to them going to and getting through college. A lot of our students are from Indianapolis, but we have a number of students from across the state. Again, we have 100 students that are on scholarship. We have another 200 or so that are able to go on their own resources to our HBCUs. And so we have about 300 students from Indiana that are connected and tied to and supported by the efforts of UNCF. A lot of our students are studying fields that are, the technology, education, manufacturing, advanced manufacturing. And so we have a very wide range of talented young individuals who are looking for that opportunity to get into the workforce, looking to, again, change the generational landscape of what their families have experienced. And, we can't be any happier with the success of our students. To this date, we have raised over $5 billion as an organization and helped support over 500,000 students to get to and through college in our 76-year experience. And so we are here to really continue on with that mission of getting kids the resources they need. And in this pandemic, a lot of resources are technology driven. They may not have had the access to quality Wi-Fi, laptops, equipment. And on the flip side of that, our institutions, a lot of them were not prepared for this pandemic, as many of us were. And so they've had to really adjust how they deliver their education in a remote setting so that the students can continue on with their education and not be impacted or delayed in graduation dates.
Okay. So let's then review for viewers. If someone wants to give to support UNCF, how can they go about doing that?
Sure. Again, they can visit our website at www.uncf.org /Indianapolis. And there you can find the donate button that will take you directly to donate to our campaign. You can also go to our, down further on that page, you'll see a link to our national walk for which you could donate to that effort as well, if you want to help support that. Otherwise, you can also call the local office, 317-283-3920. And we'll be happy to have a conversation about how you can get further involved, how you can help support us at many different areas and levels.
Okay, I love it. Well, we appreciate the work that you do, and want to acknowledge you're the head of the UNCF chapter here in Indianapolis.
Absolutely. I come into this organization as of July of 2019, working with and alongside of Andrea Neely, who's been with the campaign for 14 years, has tremendously impacted a number of students throughout her time, and continues to have a high level of passion for what we do, how we do it. And, as she always says, excellence is the standard, not the goal. And that's what we strive to do. We really feel that the work that we do puts our students in a position to have excellence in their futures and it drives everything that we try to accomplish every day.
Well, we appreciate all the work that she does and the work that you do. And she's just one of the leading ladies of Indianapolis. And I just love Andrea. She's just absolutely wonderful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you, Kelly. You have been a huge supporter of UNCF's efforts here. I'm getting to know more about you and getting an opportunity to work alongside you and how we can help bring the message to your viewers and your network. So I'm very excited about continuing on our opportunities to connect as well.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Brian Kelly, who is the Area Development Director for UNCF here in Indy. Thanks so much for joining us on Inside Indy.
Thank you, Kelly. Take care.
I have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day,
one man's
right down in
dream
Georgia,
of racial equity and harmony, unity, seeing people as people, created in the image of God, is central to the Christian message. Acts records, "From one man he made every nation of men." God did this so men would seek him. Celebrate the creation, celebrate the vision, and celebrate each other as God celebrates you.
With this faith, I will go out with you and transform dark yesterdays into bright tomorrows. With this faith, we will be able to achieve this new day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing with the Negroes in the spiritual of all, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.